There we go. Sorry guys, ran into a bit of a technical issue there, I think. Just making sure that it's all working fine. There we go. Okay. Don't know what happened there. Some sort of freeze on the live stream, but welcome everyone. Hello. We got one viewer. That's okay. Don't worry. Thank you for taking the time. I appreciate it. You know, even if one person shows up, I appreciate it. Just live streaming, showing what we're doing. Today is basically just going to be a continuation of what we've been doing already, which is working on just cleaning up a bit of the mocap, making everything look a little more spicy, making it look a bit more realistic, because there's always cleanup when it comes to motion capture. You're never able to just click and drag. A lot of people think that's how it is with mocap, that you just record it and then you just click, drag and drop it and that's it, it's done. But no, that's not it at all. There's a lot more to it. There's a lot more you have to do. So that's what we're going to be doing today for a little bit. But the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be modeling something and then texturing something really quickly. It won't take up too much time, but we essentially just need to create the altar where Sauron is, where he's forging the ring, right? And if I show my screen, I can show you guys what we are using. So again, we're coming back to this cinematic. There's a lot of really cool stuff in these cinematics. And as you can see here, this thing right here that he's using, it looks a bit, it looks pretty cool to me. It's kind of like an anvil, kind of not like an anvil. It's like got some sort of like altar vibe to it. And so that's what we're going with today. Just kind of running with that. And so we're just going to be quickly modeling something that is similar to this. Again, it doesn't have to be crazy detailed, but we want it to be detailed enough that you guys are pulled into it and it doesn't look half-assed, which is what you never want. And then from there, we can texture it in Substance Painter, bring it over into Unreal, set it up properly, and then we can continue with cleaning up the mocap. Now, you might be wondering, well, why do we need to model this thing before we clean up the mocap? Well, that is because if I come here into our environment, we come here where our character is, you might notice I've changed the lighting a little bit. Still haven't made his clothes, but don't worry, that will come in due time. But as you can see, throughout the animation, he's placing his hand on the altar, where he's then striking the hammer down to forge the ring. And this is just a placeholder, right? I need to replace this with the actual thing, so that when I clean up the mocap, his hand is making contact with the actual realistic scale of this creepy looking anvil, right? If we were to just use this and then I modeled the other thing and then brought it in, and it's completely different scale and dimensions and it just doesn't fit, then I've got to go back and reanimate stuff, and that's just tedious, right? We don't want to do that. So that's why we're doing it in this order. And then, of course, some of the things we'll want to fix is, for example, how... Oh, my days, look at his hair. So you see here how, like, I mean, his hand isn't even coming close to making contact. And we want it to raise up a bit more, there to be a bit more of a body twist into it, so there's a bit more impact to it. We want to play around with all that stuff, right? We want to make it all look really nice. And it doesn't look really nice right now, so that's going to be some of the stuff that we are working on. But as you can see, the new lighting that I've set up definitely adds a cool element to it. You can kind of zoom in and picture like a shot like that, you know, setting up the different lighting and everything. Welcome everyone who's just coming into the live stream now. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just talking about how we are going to be working on cleaning up the mocap, but also first and more importantly modeling this thing. And I've already started, as you can see here, and so we're just going to look at this reference. And what it looks like to this reference is that it comes up and out to this like altar area here, where then it becomes, has like these long kind of barbed hooks, one going off either direction, that's kind of relatively large, and then slightly smaller for these ones. And so those are things that we're going to want to incorporate into ours. Again, just trying to going for similarity here. We're not going for dead similar. We're not going for identical kind of look. There it is. Words, English, Sam, come on. Because this is our own interpretation, right? And also, we're trying to do this in a realistic time frame. We're not trying to do this like that, right? And we're also not we're trying to do it like that, and we don't want to be spending months on this thing, because the point of these smaller short films is that I'm going to use them to fill in the gaps between the larger short films. So, for example, I give you guys an update on how Real Steel 2 is coming along. It's coming along well. The only issue is my brother has gotten pretty unwell. Unfortunately, he's caught some sort of flu. Oh, come on. There we go. He's caught in some sort of flu, which is a shame. He's been really battling that, which sucks to see him be so unwell. So we're just waiting for him to recover, and once he feels, you know, more confident and more recovered, we can resume with recording the fight choreography, and I can continue then rendering out those shots for that. So that's pretty much what everything's looking like. Hope you guys are all doing well. We've got 4 viewers in here. Thank you for taking the time to join the live stream. I appreciate it. Yeah, we should just have some fun today. It's just kind of chill. We're just here like doing some 3D modeling, some texturing, some animation, just working on stuff that I would be doing anyway. But I figured, hey, why not live stream it? Why not show people my thought process with these things? So enough from me. I'll stop going on and on and on. And what we're going to do now is we are going to just start working on this anvil, I guess you could call it. I don't really know what you would call it. Wait, hang on. There we go. I'm doing this now so that when we get further up, it's not going to look weird. And I don't mind about this bottom bit kind of having like a cool altar look to it like that. That honestly looks kind of cool in my opinion. So now we're going to go extrude, scale on everything except the Z axis, which generates something along the lines of this. extrude it up on the Z, and then extrude, scale, 0. Now you might be like, Sam, are we making an anvil or are we making a coffee table? Don't worry. What I'm doing here is I'm creating a very basic shape that is somewhat similar to this, so that then I can start sculpting it. Because this kind of shape, I mean, I guess you could, through traditional means, you could definitely create something that kind of looks like this, possibly. But the problem is it would probably be quite tedious and probably wouldn't end up looking that good. So it's probably a lot easier, and I have found in my experience it is a lot easier to just sculpt these kind of things, all right? So that's what we're going to be doing. How many frames do I have to go back? Come on now. There we go. So, okay, I got it now. So let's undo, and let's just do this, because that seems to be more what it's doing. It kind of comes outward like that. So yeah, and then what we'll do is we'll bring this into sculpting, and we'll you know, we'll smooth things out and add some like sinister looking curves and spikes and stuff, and then start texturing it. So, oh, I haven't saved, so let's save first. Well done, Sam. Let's put it into new anvil. Right, and we're just going to call it scene. And then we'll also create another folder for the textures when we bring it into Substance Painter. And we're just going to call it Sauron Anvil. Sweet, there we go. That's what we want. Okay, so from here, we're going to come into sculpt mode. Now, obviously, if we look at the topology, there's not enough polygons here for us to really work with sculpting. Because look, if I were to probably use the snake hook for this stuff. See what that does? Because it's just working with what it has. So what we have to do is we have to remesh this so that there are much less, that there's far more detail, far more polygons, right? And now we could just hit Control R. The problem with hitting Control R is it will just use the default amount of polygons that it automatically does, and it will look like this. And that's not what we want. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit R, and then that shows us, okay, this is where we start to see how much it will do the retopology. And I think that's a lot better, because look, I can actually go in and do some things here. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to smooth out. Let's actually do this so that we have a bit of mirroring going on, because that will save me time. It could be cool as well to maybe add some like welding textures there to perhaps make it look like it was all crafted in one piece. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Could be pretty cool to play around with that. All right. So what we're going to do is we're probably going to use the snake hook. And the reason why we're going to probably use the snake hook is because, again, let's go back to the reference. See how it does this kind of swoop, swoop, kind of out? Well, we can do that here by doing that. See, now, obviously, I'm going to do a better job than that with it. But see what I mean? Like, you can get the idea that this can be used pretty smartly to add some stuff. I don't Might do that. Yeah, that's better. And then, yeah, I don't think snake hook actually worked. So what we might do is... That's cool. Now, it's not that pointy, which isn't ideal, right? We want this to have a bit of a pointy edge to it. So what we'll do is we will use, where is it? Crease? Is it crease or is it pinch? I think it's pinch. There we go. See what it's doing now? Oh, it's creating some more aggressively sharp edges to the design. That looks much better. See, now I might add some thickness to this, and again, it's okay if it doesn't look perfect, because if we go back to this, it looks like it's kind of forged kind of almost in an ugly way, right? So I think it could be cool if it has imperfections, because it might I don't know, add some realism. I don't know. There's no one here. Doesn't matter. I'm just talking to myself. That's alright though. So I enjoy doing what I'm doing, so. Okay, that's cool. I don't like how large the center is. Cool. Let's fine. Flatten. That's cool. Let's see if the snake hook can work this time around, because it would be cool. That's cool. Again, it's a bit on the... What if we do this? This might add a bit more of a evil feel to it. Where's flatten? That's not it. Okay, we want to build up that a bit. Build that up a bit as well. Make this smaller, turn off that. And then looks pretty damn ugly, doesn't it? Okay, let's go back. Don't be afraid to go back, guys, if you feel like you've gone in the wrong direction. I think there's nothing wrong with going back. Okay, so that looked kind of okay. And then what did I do? What did I do so wrong? Is that it? Start to go a bit haywire on me. Okay. Is there a way to mask? Yeah. I'm gonna mask this area. That's a lot better. And then, okay, so now we find flatten again. I need a better texture here, man. I cannot make out what the hell this is. That's better. Whoa, that looked awful. Okay, that's better. I don't mind there actually being some ugly elements to it. Okay, we need to smooth out the edges. This is way too sharp. And again, imperfections go in our favor with this one because this is something that was hand forged. So having the imperfections and the kind of inconsistencies will make it not feel industrial and will make it feel like some orc molded it, you know, or something. Kind of plays into it. Yeah, something else I should probably say is this stream won't be as long as the previous few, just because I thought I was on the mend, and apparently I'm not. I'm actually wearing a brace right now around my back. It's been getting worse. I don't know why, because I've been doing everything the doctors tell me to do, but it feels fragile. So I have to be very, very careful. Which is annoying because like I want to work out, and because I've not been able to work out, I've gained weight because it's really hard for me to stick to a diet and a nutrition plan when you're like doing nothing all day. It's really hard for me, at least. And my workout regime is what gives me my structure, and so it's been difficult just the last few weeks, and honestly just frustrating as hell, man. It's like, how much damn longer am I gonna have to wait for this thing to heal? I'm 23. I should not have these kind of injuries at 23. What the hell am I gonna look like at 70? No one cares. Shut up, Sam. Sorry guys, I keep ranting. I need to stop. If, by the way, guys, you ever have any questions, don't hesitate to shoot them into the chat. I'm more than happy to answer your guys' questions about anything. So don't hesitate. If there's something you see me do and you're like, well, hang on a second, why is he doing that? Ask. I will answer. I'm not a professional. I'm by no means the best at this. I'm figuring it out just like everyone else. But I don't know. I'm having fun doing it. So. This looks disgusting, man. What the hell is going on? I don't know what's going on. I don't know why this is happening. This looks vile. Going all the way back. I think we're just going to leave it as that, honestly. Because again, it's not the focus, and it will probably be in like one shot, and then from there it won't even be in all that too many. So it just needs to fit the world. That's what I'm more concerned about. I want it to feel like it fits the world. If I used a traditional anvil, it probably wouldn't blend in all that well. It wouldn't look very Mordor. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. Okay. Just double check that the UV editing looks okay. Yeah. All right. Well, let's export this out. All right. So let's open up Substance Painter. It's a great software. If you've not heard of it, it's a texturing software, and I love it. It has a lot of these really cool procedural textures that can predict where things would build up, which is just awesome when you are, you don't want to go through tediously painting in the rust and stuff. Well, you don't have to worry about it, because this does it for you. So it's very useful. All right, so first, before we do everything, we got to bake this all down. I'll do the retopology off stream, because that is nothing that anyone wants to see. That is not a fun time watching retopology. It's the scourge of the 3D world. Okay, so let's go back to this and let's see what's it made of. So it's like black steel or something. So let's find something like steel ruined. Nice, that looks cool. We can change the textures. All right, let's go through, make sure. Okay, turn that off, turn the normal on. Turn that off, turn the normal on. Okay, so let's turn the base into something pretty dark. And then turn this to something pretty dark. And then this to something pretty dark. Again, we don't want it all to be same grade, because if it is Looks about right. We're not done yet, though, obviously. Let's add some rust. Not that much rust would build up in a boiling hot place, because there wouldn't be much moisture, but for the human eye, things like this can just help with it feeling more real. So, alright. Let's turn up the roughness a little bit. And then we'll add a black mask, and we will apply dust occlusion. Let's see, what is it? Where is it applying? Okay, so it's mainly applying here, but I think we want it to be a bit more, something like that. Yeah, and how's that look here? That's nice. Almost gives it like a burnt look, which I like. I like it. Let's turn off the height map and let's turn on the normal. Yeah, that's cool. And again, I think that fits pretty well. One last thing that we want to do is we need to add the black speech onto this anvil. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. That's the black speech. What is that? I'm not sure what that is. Okay. Nice. See that? And let's just bring it in here. Label it as a texture. Import. There we go. And you need to add emissive. Don't worry, this will all make sense in a second, guys. There we go. Okay. Cool. So the point of adding this onto it is we are trying to do this, right? See how he's kind of resting his hand there, and then he's, every time he hits the ring, so if I go back a bit and you can see what I mean, he's in here crafting a ring, and it's like causing all the black speech to glow around it. We're going to do something like that as well with the explosion. So I thought it would be cool if we had something similar, but for the One Ring, you know? Figured it would look cool. So that's what we're doing here. And I might have to come back and alter things here. This might not look very good once I bring it in. I think it will, though. I'm confident that it will. All right, so let's just save this first, and then we can bring this bad boy into Unreal Engine and get back to animation. Anvil, new anvil, textures, Sauron, anvil, substance. That is where we want to export the textures. Give it a second to save. I think it will be quite cool. you know what? Let's see. There's a normal image to normal map. You can usually get a new normal map off something. This might actually be better at getting us something pretty cool. So we want it a little less strong, or is it level? No. No. Okay, that's not it. Level. No. No. Oh, we just want the normal. Yeah, I don't want displacement. What's it doing? That's... There we go, that's what we want. Just play around with the cube look of it. What's this do? So that's nothing. So strength, blur, that's not what we want. Filter, invert. There we go, that's what we want. Invert the height so that it goes into the... That's what we want. Download. Okay, we've downloaded it. Turn it into a texture. Is it there? Oh, it is. It's not very strong though, is it? It's actually kind of pathetic how weak that is. So let's try again, eh? There we go. Turn it into a texture. That's even worse. What? Interesting. What happens if I duplicate? There we go. Let's duplicate it again. That's better. See how it just looks like it's kind of just carved into it, like it's this dark incantation. Yeah, there you go. Bit of black speech. Loving the Tengwa script. Thank you, bro. Thank you, Evan. I think that will match, because if we go back here, see how it's like kind of carved into it, and then the light. So we can do something similar here where it's just this normal map with like the engraving, and then every time he slams down with the hammer it's like a red glow, and then the same happens to the ring. Could be cool, you know, just something. Adds a bit of an interest to it, I believe. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, that is pretty much done. So let's hit save, and we will export these textures out, and then we will import it into the scene, you know, play around with the textures, and then it should look pretty sick. So if you guys stick around, you will see the final look of the scene, and I think it's going to look pretty awesome. So let's export the textures. We're going to do them in 16-bit. We're going to do them in 4K because it's going to be pretty up close and personal for the camera. So things that are really close to the camera, you want to make sure that they are high res. We don't need the height map, but we do need the color, roughness, metallic, normal, and emissive. 4K, 16-bit. All right, let's hit export. Shouldn't take very long. There we go. Let's hit save one more time so that we don't lose anything, and we can always come back, because we might bring this into the scene and then it might be like, oh, actually, I really don't like how these textures look in the scene, and so we might want to change something. But there is plenty of stuff that we can do right from Unreal. Okay, so this is what it's looking like, and this has been our crappy placeholder, and we're going to replace this placeholder with a much needed upgrade. So let's go props and let's go anvil, and let's bring in the anvil. Import all. Might take a second because it's a pretty dense thing, but once it's in, it will be good to go in terms of usage, because Unreal can handle it. And we're also, the scene isn't very heavy in terms of polygons, so we can kind of get away with this thing being a bit more heavier, because, well, this just, everything else is fairly optimized. There's assets that I found online, and they've done a good job of optimizing everything, so we're able to just use high-res textures to get around that, and then for this we can keep it detailed. There it is. All right, so let's bring it in. It's probably going to be absolutely massive. Yes, it is massive. So it's probably half the scale. So 0.5. Rotate it again. Yeah, it's going to need to be way smaller. We also want it kind of angled towards him, because again, that's going back to the reference. You see here, it's kind of angled towards him. Again, this is terrible in comparison, but it's all right. I'm not perfect. I'm not the best artist. I'm passionate, you know what I'm saying? That looks good. So we can now delete that, and we can also delete that, so you can get an idea of. Let's get some wide shots. Yeah, that looks good. See, it kind of just kind of matches the feel. I might actually, I don't know. We'll see how it looks with the textures. If these bits don't look very good with the textures on, I might go back into Blender and make these look a bit more sharp and gross, because they look a bit too industrial. Doesn't really match the rest of the look of the piece. So let's bring in the textures. Okay. Sweet. So let's select it. Yeah, okay. So let's open up. Well, first off, let's rename this. Sauron Anvil Matte material. All right, let's open this thing up, and then let's bring these up. Sweet. And let's bring all of these in here. All right. This is where we play. So base color, just plug into the base color. That's fine. That's emissive, so we'll keep it down there for a second. Metallic. Normal. That's fine. And then roughness. We're going to put a multiplier node in here just to up the roughness a little bit. Cool. Let's see what this looks like. It might look awful. Okay. It's not bad. It's far too light. Which is interesting because in Substance Painter it looked way darker than this. But again, this is what I mean. Like one thing might look one way and then you bring it in and you go, oh. So let's increase the contrast. There we go. That looks a bit better. Maybe a little bit more. A little bit more. Okay. That's good. The normal map is barely visible, so we're gonna up the normal map quite a bit. Let's see what happens, eh? Let's just do something ridiculous first off, and we can wind it back. So let's go with 5. Let's apply it. Huh. It is. I can ever so slightly see it. So, what happens if I do this? Nope. Okay. So, we're going to go back into Substance and we're going to fix that. But first off, what we'll do is we're going to create a parameter. And the parameter is good because it means we can keyframe it. Right? When you just put a normal value node in, you'd have to manually go in and edit it. But by having it as a parameter, I can keyframe its strength in the sequencer. So I can control how much of this emissive color comes through, right? So let's just do it as 1 and let's see where it appears. Very nice. Love that. Let's bring the one ring and move it into the center. Like that. Doesn't have to be perfectly in the center, but I do want it to be realistically planted on the thing. Cool. That is very nice. And like I said, we can like come in and make it glow really intense, right? So there's a lot of cool things to do here. But for the time being, we will leave this as 0 because it only glows when he hits it. But as we've seen quite clearly, the normal map is not strong enough. So we are going to up this pretty intense. We don't want displacement. Okay, let's see what this does. Well, load it up again. And we'll use this normal map and we'll see what it ends up looking like. And then we'll do a bit more of a fixing of the mocap, and then we'll see how it's all coming together and if we need to then focus on other elements. Okay, so give it a second to let's open this up. Well, that's a lot more intense, but it's still pretty damn awful. Strange, because it's visible there, but then when I bring it into Unreal, it's not visible. I wonder why. Let's try this again. And then we'll re-import the textures and see what it's looking like. And if we're still running into problems. There we go. Oh. There you go. It is there. Barely. Damn, bro. Why is it struggling so much with this, eh? What happens if I do this? Doesn't really do anything. I might be overthinking this, I don't know. What if I made a height map or a displacement? Is there a possibility for displacement? Or is there a way? No, there's ambient occlusion. Would ambient occlusion do it? Let's see if I brought an ambient occlusion map in and just plugged that straight into, you know, what does that do? Does that make it less visible? Oh, don't crash. Please don't crash. Come on, bro. Don't do this. This is peak content. Sorry, guys. Probably shouldn't have had all these programs open at the same time. Yep, it crashed. Great. Whatever. Come on, man. Sorry, guys, if you're just tuning in. We're running into some technical issues. We've had a crash, which is peak, and these normal maps aren't working for some reason. Because it looks fine there, right? And then I would bring it into Unreal and you can't see it. Which is quite frustrating. Just trying to craft a ring, man. I think would a height map do it, or a displacement? Where is it? Okay. That did it. So it's a height map. That's what it needs. That's much better. The only problem is, like, the height map. I don't even know if you can use height maps in Unreal. Maybe I'm just, I don't know. Let's find out, shall we? See what this guy says. He might give us a bit of advice. So how to blend a normal map with a height map. Okay. So you take your first, you create the classic material setup. Yeah, that's fine. We've done that. Then you need a text cord. Okay. Which you plug into the UVs of everything. Okay. And bring in your height map. And then what? So then add a normal from height map node. Oh. Normal from height map mode. And then I'm guessing you put that into a multiply mode. Node. Yeah. Ah. Oh. Okay. Well, we'll give that a go then, eh? So first off, let's redo this stuff. Whoa, that is way too much. Okay, let's try it again. And let's do the height map as well. Let's export these out. As much as I want to do the mocap, I might not be able to do the mocap this time around, guys. Sorry, I'm trying to push through, but my back's starting to get pretty uncomfortable, and I don't want to go backwards. So I will probably finish this and then see how I feel. See if I'm running into problems. Here we go. So let's try this again. Find that. Find the textures. Then come to textures. Got all the textures here. Re-import them. Whoa. Slow down. Okay, it is. You can see it, but you can barely see it, which is not what we want, right? We want to see it pretty clearly. It's supposed to be almost like a stamp, like an engraving. So let's bring the height map in here. And leave this as here, and then it's normal from height map. There we go. Why won't it? It's a height map. This is a height map. What? Height map. This is a texture object. Okay, don't know why that was happening then. Texture object. And then what else was it? A blend angle corrected normals. Blend angle corrected normals. Okay. So we plug that into there. And you plug that into there. And then you plug that into there. Okay, got it. How's that? Is there anything else I need to do? Okay, so I've done that. Now what? Save and adjust the strength of the height map with the scalar parameter. Got it. Let's just do something like really stupidly high. Okay, so it is working. So let's see what it looks like without it. Yeah, so it's pretty much invisible. And then you apply it. Boom. Okay, great. We fixed it. Oh, that feels so good to have that fixed, because that was going to be a real problem. I needed to make sure that you could make out the engravings. To be honest, I might even make it a bit stronger. And then might reduce the intensity of the contrast of this thing, because it's a bit over the top. No, it's not. It's fine. You're overthinking, Sam. Stop overthinking. Okay, sweet. Cool. So, I think that... Oh, wait, hang on. We got a two-sided shadows. There we go. Stops the weird glitches. All right, let's open up our sequencer and let's see what this is looking like. You guys are just dropping in. We're working on a Lord of the Rings short film that we're making inside of Unreal Engine. Don't worry, this character is not going to stay in his underwear. I'm trying to learn Marvelous Designer right now, so we'll put custom clothing on him. So I think what I will do is I will fix his arm and his positioning just for the hitting down, and then I think I'm gonna have to call it there, guys, because my back is being annoying, let's just say. Yeah. So first off, let's take these and let's go through. So let's put a keyframe in there. Keyframe 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 there. Sweet. And the reason we do that is so that we don't affect the rest of the animation, right? We add this last keyframe here so that we can then do whatever we want with these keyframes and we don't have to worry about it messing up everything else. Because that's the last thing we want to do, right? That's the last thing we want to do. So let's now come in and start adjusting. So we're in local, yeah? Automatic keyframes added on. Okay, well, first off, this can come down, right? So already looks better. Oh, hey guys, how you doing? I'm doing alright, man. I'm just my back is bothering me today, so I probably won't be live for much longer because I don't know. It's just flaring up for some reason today. It just does some. Won't be able to stay for the stream, but just passing by to show some love. Yeah, man. Of course, I appreciate you dropping by and you know just taking the time. Loving the work, Samster. Love watching this while I work. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. And that's what it is for, man. You know, this can be playing in the background while you're working on something, or it can be playing in the background while, I don't know, you're cleaning your room or whatever, right? Or maybe you're watching it with all your attention. I don't know. Whatever you want, whatever fits, really. But I appreciate all you guys taking the time to show love, man. It really means a lot. Genuinely, really means a lot. So thank you for taking the time. There we go. That's better. See how before he was like, his hand was like stopping up here, and now it's like feels like it's actually making contact. First off, let's go back here because that's off. That should not be like that. That should be. Let's bring his arm out a little more. There we go. Come on. Don't be shy. Supposed to land on the ring almost every time. Or around the ring, you know? It doesn't have to be perfect, but just it needs to come close to. That already looks a lot better. Let's fix this. So let's bring the arm out a bit more. So we got more to work with in terms of reach. And then let's straighten this up. Straighten this up. And what's this looking like? There we go. Let's there we go. And move. There we go, that's better. That's just an adaptive layer over your mocap animation? Yes, it is. So if I was to delete this layer, it would just go back to the normal. But by doing it this way, basically, it means I don't have to worry about messing up the base animation, right? The base mocap, the base animation, I don't have to worry about that getting messed up. And so I can just add all my custom tweaks and changes on its own separate additive layer. And then, you know, if something maybe doesn't work, I can delete it without having to worry about the base core animation being ruined. That's safe. And so that's why I do it as separate layers. It's also just way easier in general to put up with. See how far away it is? I don't know why. I've noticed something with Rococo. When you move too fast, it throws it off a bit. It gets a bit confused with how much distance you actually just traveled. I've noticed a few times now where if I've moved my hand too fast, it does this, where it kind of stops. It's interesting. But I mean, I don't mind it because I can just fix it no problem like I am right now, but I have noticed that in a few things I've worked on now where I've had to be careful with moving my hands too fast. I guess because it's inertial mocap, it can get a bit confused. I'm not sure. And one thing as well is we don't have to, because when I watch this back, there might be like, oh, it doesn't really feel like there's an impact when he hits things. That's okay, because we can emphasize the impact of Sauron crafting the ring, and every time he slams down, we can emphasize that with camera shake. That's a really easy way to make something that otherwise would feel a bit lame and a bit flat and instantly feel more dynamic. And that's something that we can use to our advantage, and I will be definitely using to my advantage. So I will just finish up with these slams and we'll see how this is turning out. That's supposed to feel really intense, so let's try this again. I might even let it clip through a little bit, and then here if we maybe raise this a bit. I think that's another way that we can make this feel more dramatic, is then go back through and make sure that the way he's raising up his hand is very grand. He's really gearing up to slam this thing down, you know? really opening up his chest. That looks better. Just, it is hilarious though seeing him do this in his underwear. It's quite funny. Okay, so let's open this up, raise it up. Open this up, raise it up. Open this up, raise it up. And should probably already. It's the funniest part about this work is when someone walks in and sees you playing with a guy in his yeah, exactly. Yeah. He shouldn't be in his underwear too long though. I've found some very useful tutorials on how to use Marvelous Designer, so should have something to show people. It's funny. Should look a bit more. There we go. I was like, I don't want to do it too much though, because we don't want to start seeing that where the wrist starts to twist. Raise it up again. And turn this over. Open it up again. Turn this over. Open it up again. That's better. Again, it's tedious, but it's worth it in the end, and it's quite satisfying actually. You just, you're listening to tunes and you're just working on your project. Like the mocap's done most of the hard work for me. I'm just having fun here animating stuff, like reanimating. And the fact as well with Unreal Engine, I'm able to see it in real time. Definitely helps with the feeling of it coming to life, I guess. I was saying in the previous live stream, I was saying that I have set up members on my channel, and I thought what could be quite funny is one of the first videos that I put up on members could be this short film, but I just render it out with him looking like this. I don't know. Could do things like that maybe for different short films, like where it's funny moments that we've had whilst working on it, and maybe perhaps like actually just carry them through to the final thing. It could be quite funny. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Nope, I do not like those keyframes. Okay, let's see what this looks like now. Okay, I don't like how the hammer clips through multiple times, so let's fix that. What happened there? Okay, it comes in at a weird angle. Okay, so first off, gotta fix that. For sure, fix that. Okay, that's another problem there. Okay, that's a lot better now. Sweet. All right. Pretty happy with that. So we'll hit save. And I think we'll wrap it up there, just because we've been almost doing this for 2 hours now, and I don't really want to push my luck with my back. I've had a pretty consistent streak of bad luck recently, and I don't want to push it. Hopefully you guys understand that, but I'm pretty happy with how this is coming along. We've got this badass looking anvil now that really I feel like it fits that world. Obviously we've got his mocap looking a lot nicer now for the section where he's slamming down on the ring. There's a lot more to do, don't worry. We will be, let me go back here, so we will be back at it next week, Wednesday and Saturday. I am live every single Wednesday, every single Saturday at 5 p.m. At least 5 p.m. for me over here in England. I don't know what time that is for you guys. But you'll always see them appear as scheduled on my channel. I also post about them on all my different socials. So if you follow me on Instagram, TikTok, my @ handle is Samster_VFX on everything. So Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I barely go on Twitter though, so don't really worry about following me there. And then also YouTube. Follow me all of there. If you also look in the link in the description, there is a link to the teaser for Real Steel 2, and there is also a link to the Discord channel where you can join Uh-Oh Stinky Lads. That is the name of the channel. Yep, fight me. That is going to remain the channel name. And basically there we share our works to each other. We can get feedback and, you know, maybe get a bit of attention on our videos. And yeah, it's just a cool time. Just a bunch of people who either love filmmaking, visual effects, acting. It could be anything. It could really be anything, guys, that's in the creative film industry. Telling stories, really. That's the point. We're all storytellers. We all love telling stories. And even if you don't, maybe you just want to be part of a community and be surrounded by people that have the, you know, maybe similar interests to you. Come on in. The link is in the description if you want to join. And yeah, consider following me on all the other different handles, social pages as well. Samster_VFX. You'll find me there. Yeah, we will be continue doing this. We'll do more mocap. It will be mainly be cleaning up the mocap on Wednesday, and then on Saturday we'll probably start playing around with adding some of the clothing and visual effects. Sauron will finally get his clothing. But yeah, thank you guys for taking the time to be part of this live. If you're watching this after the live and you're just watching it in your own time, thank you for taking the time. I appreciate it. Consider liking the video, leaving a comment what you think, and maybe subscribe as well. We're almost at 6,000 subscribers, which is awesome. Thank you everyone that has subscribed. If you haven't already, consider subscribing. And yeah, I guess I will see you guys next week, next Wednesday. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. And until then, in a bit, lads.